Sorry. Could you show me that clip again? Wasn't wearing my glasses.
Okay, so Zootopia 2 is actually a really good sequel. Not really a sequel that we needed, but even though it doesn't really up any of the stakes, it develops the initial characters enough to more than justify existing. Not a very common scenario, but when you keep all the charm and innovative humor of the original intact, unlike most Disney products, well, that's the outcome. I had to go back and look at the first movie, which was almost a decade ago, to get an idea of what a Zootopia sequel should be. Oddly enough, some people are not satisfied, and that's what I find interesting about this sequel. Like I said, first movie, really inventive, likable, engaging characters, not too big on notable cameos. Definitely did not have Patrick Warburton utilizing his convenient cartoon voice. Yet again, a strong message that's good for the young audiences, and all kinds of creative ideas to warrant its high rating. For that reason, you may go into the sequel skeptical, it's probably not going to be as good. Incidentally, it isn't, it doesn't need to be, but will it be justified? Will it just be the exact same thing repurposed while adding nothing new?
Could be.
I'm happy to say no, definitely not. It's again quite big on animal-themed humor and witty dialogue, as it would be, but it's by no means repurposed. The premise is still focused around inclusion in a non-heavy-handed way, and despite coming out almost a decade later, it kicks off a few weeks after the first movie, with our police duo and a real inept chief. It's like South Park police stupidity, as in evidence right in front of you, let's ignore it. And the premise is there's a snake in Zootopia, which is not okay, because snakes are different, and, you know, they're snakes, so bad.
Highly imaginative, incredibly inventive.
First movie was kind of the same way, only all predators opposed to just reptiles, though likely being the reason some people deem this unneeded. While I would have liked a whole new premise opposed to diversity being a good thing, the development of the two leads, Judy and Nick, and a direction that is by no means the same, it's difficult to watch the movie and remember that was even an issue. Though some still did. I can see where they're coming from, it's not a perfect sequel, but the issues come down to if part 1 didn't exist, there'd be no issues. You can actually compare it to Sisu, oddly enough, but in that case they're meant to have simplistic plots. Zootopia is some reason a deeper movie. So when the first one was about inclusion, and the sequel that takes place a few weeks later is also about inclusion, it does stand out.
You are a bigot.
Like I said though, it's a completely different approach. The plot here is unique. You have twists thrown in, some new environments. Reptile Bar is a standout for comedic ideas. And attention to detail, doing everything they can with the animal theme, is again the main attraction. I noticed that immediately in both these movies and does not disappoint. Given snakes play a big role in this, you get a scene with an extra long sock, a rug that goes in snake-like directions. Every scene has stuff like this, but it's not exclusive to that. Basic comedy and witty dialogue is handled exceptionally. It wouldn't even have to be in this movie, they'd honestly fit anywhere. And I really couldn't help but laugh when they referenced The Shining and Silence of the Lambs in one movie. I think clever would define the sequel or the series. You can't get through much of it without thinking, okay, that was good. They really put the time in, but then they go beyond by taking a partly serious, partly comedic scene from the first movie, bringing it back in this one scene, seemingly as a joke, but then having it play a relatively big role. I didn't expect that, but I really appreciate it because again, almost a decade later. Potentially you forgot what it was, but you don't really need to know what it was. I love when movies do that. You don't need to see the first movie, though you definitely should. A number of old characters come back, so again, it's nice to see, and all of the unique personalities are effectively kept intact. I don't know if we need to emphasize it's a fun movie, because it really is. The action scenes are creative, well-paced, full of unique ideas. The environments are well utilized, but the main thing is how they take the two lead characters with different outlooks, have them grow and develop, insecurity from being alone, the need to prove something. It's all relatable stuff, and it's kinda done perfectly. I didn't think it would be, but it is, and nothing is rushed here, and by the end, it's satisfying. It'll probably lead to a part 3, I don't know if that's needed, but I'm not gonna question that. When a movie is this enjoyable, it can get away with it not being needed, but if I had to look at every aspect and rank them, the narrative is the weakest. It's not bad, just not a standout. Like I said, it's a similar premise, and one thing I did notice, the stakes of the movie aren't as big this time. In fact, they're reduced. That's one thing I look for in a sequel, even if it can't be as good, yet this is almost as good, so I can't complain too much about that. In the end, Zootopia 2 is mostly solid to above and beyond, but the fact is I am one of those people who, if the movie is not just dumb fun, I can't completely look past the same premise. The direction may be completely new, by no means heavy-handed, but nonetheless the same. That's all I got. A job well done.
Party on, dudes!
Has Disney been revitalized? Who knows, but let me know what you thought about Zootopia 2 down in the comments. Like the video, it's free, subscribe if you enjoyed, share it if you can, and hit the bell to get notified. Recommendations won't come. I'm the analyst, and remember kids, if you're missing the core idea, go with inclusion.